Wow. Wow.
I know you.
Hi, Tabby. I'm dead already.
God.
Wow. All right, I'm about to record us. Oh, Ted. Well. Hello. Hi, everybody. Look who is here. Tabby.
I made it. Hey, y'all.
Tabbie, Miss Tabbletics herself. Like, go get her. Go get her, go get her, go get her. How are you feeling today?
I'm nervous.
Don't be nervous.
I'm good. I'm happy to be here.
Good. I'm happy that you're here.
Thank you.
You were one of the first because, like I was just saying, I literally thought up this series the day before we was DMing each other. So,
Thank
welcome.
you. Appreciate it.
And you are the only lady that I have. So that's
Thank
like
you.
also another
Big talk. Big talk. Thank you.
So tell the people what you do.
Oh gosh. I do a lot. I am a personal trainer in Baltimore, Maryland. And that's basically what I do. I used to be in the nightlife. I'm not any partially. One foot out,
You
one
pop
foot
out.
in.
You pop out.
Pop out when I have to. But for the most part, I do help females reach their fitness goals, whether they want to lose or gain. That's my job. So, and I enjoy it.
That's
cool.
awesome.
That's cool.
So awesome. Let's start with
God.
Tabbletics because that's the number one thing. You your content
Thank you.
is like fire. Like when you made that switch, it was like quality, consistency, you name it. Like, what is it like having to film content all the time?
It's a job on its own. Patience, you gotta have at least one other person there just to be there, whether it's support, record, tell you if no, you need to switch on this side or you need to do a different exercise. So it's a job on itself. You definitely have to have a lot of patience and be creative. I try to spice it up. I know, on Instagram we get tired of seeing the same thing, whether it's the same outfit, same hair, same nails. So I try to, make my content as unique as possible and original. Always be yourself. So it's a job.
That's lit. Yeah. When did you start your fitness journey? And what was like the driving factor for you?
So, to take it back, I've always been athletic. I started dance at the age of 6. So I danced up until the age of 20, but in between those years, I played tennis, I ran track.
Golly.
I played tennis, I ran track. I did soccer for like a month. I did basketball for a week.
I did track for a week.
So I've always been like the athletic girl, not scared to sweat, not scared to pick up a weight. And that's kind of how it really started. Like I've always been athletic all through high school. I was a football manager, I ran track, I was a dance captain.
What high school did you go to?
Dunbar.
Okay.
Period. Shout out to the poets. So it's always been in me. My brother plays sports, my mother plays sports, my father plays sports. So it's kind of always been in me. I just kind of just stepped into it and accepted it for what it was. So
I love that.
Thank you.
So what do you feel like? Like I mentioned, I feel like I witnessed your transition from I'm a trainer to I'm a trainer.
I'm standing on
it. It was like, it literally, you turned shit up like that. What was like the driving force for you to do that?
So one, COVID kind of sat me down to an extent, and it was like, okay, what do you really want to do? And it was kind of like, it was self-explanatory because I never ever stopped going to the gym. Like whether I was working out one week and not the next week, I've always been in the gym. So it was kind of just like, just use it. Like you clearly can do it. Just get a little bit more focused, take yourself more serious. And that's basically how when COVID really did the whole switch for me. It was just like, okay, this is what I'm doing. You started something, so you gotta finish it. You can't just half-ass and just, all right, I started this business and that's it. It was like, no, you need to stop working. So that's basically how it went.
Okay. How would you feel like, especially from the point of view as a trainer, how would you describe Baltimore's culture?
That was a real question?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm originally not from, so now I'm speaking from somebody who, I'm not from Baltimore originally. I was born in Brooklyn, New York.
Okay.
My mom is from Trinidad, my father's from Grenada. So I moved here when I was 12, I'm 27, so it's been 13, 14 years. Baltimore's culture is very different. It's like if you don't get it, then you just don't get it. It has its, pros and its cons. We know the obvious cons.
Yes.
But I like that people from Baltimore, it's like if they rocking with it, that's what they rocking with. And you can't tell them otherwise. Like so I think the culture has gotten better to me. We still have work to do, of course, but I think it's a pretty good feel. I'm used to it. When I did move here, I went through a whole depression as a 12-year-old, 13, 14.
Trying to make that switch.
It was absurd to me. I was just like, I don't know where I'm at. I don't know what's going on. But for the most part, now that I'm older, it's like, I've been here for a while, so I'm used to it. It's pretty decent.
That's cool.
It can be better, but nothing's perfect. So it's cool.
And you did, we met because we both worked in nightlife. What was it like leaving nightlife? Because you were a staple in that scene also. Getting to the team.
No, what's the question? Repeat the question.
Damn, I forgot the question. Oh,
you said, how was it leaving?
Yes.
How was it leaving or staying?
Well,
okay.
You got one foot in a little bit, but you generally left.
Literally, I woke up, I think it was December 28th, and I was just I'm not going back. It really wasn't I was planning for weeks, or I put in my 2 weeks, or I literally got up one day, and I wasn't even in Baltimore, I was actually in Atlanta. And I just was just I need more time to myself, more time for my business. I wasn't even thinking about money. I wasn't thinking about, how I'm going to do this, how I'm going to do that. I was just I'm done. If they need me, I'm here. But for the most part, I can't do this every day. I need to focus on what I need to focus on. So it was literally just a wake up on the go. Yeah, no, not going back. Sorry.
Wow. And that's so
after that, it was just, of course, I had my doubts but what I'm going to do and how I'm going to do this. And I just had to literally just have faith. Girl, just do what you got to do. Don't worry about anything else. Just be focused. So it was kind of simple for me. Okay. It wasn't really long and drawn out. It was
I like that.
That's it. Your time is up, Tabbie. So I'm okay with it.
Yeah, that's good.
I miss it sometimes. Not all the time. I miss it sometimes when I'm extremely oh my God, I'm at home on a Saturday night. Friday night, I'm inside. Sunday night, I'm inside. So it's okay, I'm used to it. Now I'm a homebody. I don't want to go out. I'd rather be inside. I'd rather eat inside. So that's cool. I like it.
That's what's
up. I'm adjusting.
Do you feel when you were working at night that it impacted eating and your health? And that
was another thing that it was I had to make a choice. That was my main thing. It was you can't do both. Some people might think well, you could work, you don't got to do it every day, but it was to the point where I just needed to reset my whole body. Yeah. I did 100 days no alcohol.
No alcohol, I remember that.
I did 100 days no alcohol. That was a big thing for me, absolutely no alcohol. But as far as the eating and even sleep, being a bottle girl, when I was a bottle girl, I was getting home at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. So my body can't grow if I'm not getting, you know, the proper rest. And the eating, you know how the eating goes. Yeah. We're out late, so whether it's Royal Farms, pizza, Chick-fil-A, that's what 4 times out of the week that I'm working. So it you know, I benefited from just, you gotta take a break. You have to be done with that. You gotta choose which one. You cannot do both, because when I was a bottle girl, I was still going to the gym, but my results aren't same. It wasn't the same. So definitely taking a step back definitely worked out for me.
Okay.
So.
I feel like with Instagram, I'm gonna get into the nightlife now a little bit. With Instagram being such a big piece of marketing now, people look at bottle girl culture and have tens of thousands of opinions. What's the tea? What's really going on in the admin rooms when y'all put them little ass leotards on?
So,
and I feel like you had positive relationships, or you had a positive experience. Talk about it from your perspective.
From my perspective. Right. Number one, I never aspired to be a bottle girl. You know how some people be like, I'm gonna be a bottle girl, I'm gonna be a bottle girl. Like, that was never me. I honestly was out one day, and my first time doing an event was with Flywire. And a girl, she was like, hey Tabby, you want to work this event? And me, I wasn't even really thinking. I was like, oh yeah, I could do it. All white event, a pair of 5, 6, is that pair of 6? And showed up. First of all, I was in a skirt. I was in a white skirt. So when I showed up, I was just looking like, okay, I think I'm dressed totally wrong. 2,000 people. Never held a bottle, never held a light. I had 7 tables to myself. Never did this before. So of course I did have a good night. I was running around like crazy. So from then, and I think I was like 20. From then on, you know, I continued to do private events. I wasn't in the club. Then one day I got another call from one of my friends. She was like, hey, do you mind filling in for me at the club? And I was just like, okay. Me coming in thinking it was just going to be that one night. I had a good night. Managers loved it. Cool. One of the managers asked to take a copy of my ID. Me still not thinking about it. I'm just like, okay, security reasons. Here you go. Got a text like, okay, you're going to be on the schedule for the next week. And then it turned into another week, and then it turned into another week, and it was like, okay, I work here. I work here now. Right. And that's how it started. But as far as being a bottle girl, my experience wasn't bad. Right. It has its pros and its cons.
What do you feel like are some things, like, for women who do work in bottle service, what are some staple tips, tricks, lessons?
Always be polite. I have never gotten into any type of confrontation or argument with the customer. Like, I have never, like, when I hear other, you know, bottle girls or bartenders, I just be like, I handle it, like, to the best of my ability. Like, you gotta be polite. You can't be rude and expect somebody to tip you. Like, you can't do that.
I think people forget that it's a service.
It's a service. They don't have to tip you, but if you have good service, I'm quite sure they will. So that's always been my number one. Like, you cannot be rude to these people. You cannot. Number 2, know what you're doing. You know, always have confidence. It's already a lot. Cameras are always out. And I didn't realize it until like probably like 2-3 years in, when I started, like, people started telling me, yeah, I seen you on so-and-so's page. And I'm just like, damn, like, the cameras are always rolling. So you need to have that confidence regardless of what's going on. You got to have that confidence. And hustle. It's a hustle. It's not, you know, a 9 to 5. It's a hustle. So you need to hustle. You need to work. Don't be lax. Don't just, I got tables and they there. No, go, talk, network, whatever the case may be. So, you know, I didn't have a bad experience. I've had bad nights, but I haven't had, overall, I met some great people, turned into friends, family almost. So, you know, I had a good experience.
That's great. Who are some of your favorite event curators to work
All right
with?
now. All right. My top 1, top 2, top 3.
Yeah.
Top 3.
Top 3.
Why are you doing this thing? Top 3, I'm gonna say Larry Love, Robbie 88. Is that 3rd? A 3rd for parties. Like, are you saying to work with or be at the party? Like, it's, it's
Ooh, let's do kind of both.
Okay, well, so the top 2.
Okay.
Well, yeah, so the top 2.
All right. That's nice. I think that's a great answer.
I think.
I worked one Larry that with you, the fake bougie. It was lit and it was so nice.
It was a drunk night. I
had fun that night.
Those are my top 2.
Nice.
And I'm gonna say my piece. They always want to make sure that we're good.
Yes.
Regardless, it's not always about the money.
It's about
just
the way.
even asking, like, are you good? Are you okay? Like, it's never, the money is gonna come. Money is never a problem, but just them actually caring about us. You good? You straight? You need anything? And also their guests. So it's like, we have a good time every time. So those are my top 2.
Nice.
For right now. Yes.
Right. Love to hear that.
Yes.
What do you feel like it was one of your favorite parties, weekends, like most memorable?
My most.
And take your time. You got some good options.
You gotta put the little tickets on this. My most. I don't know if I have. I'm not gonna lie. Miami on a boat. I was living my best.
Which one?
Robbie. It was literally everybody. Boat, Miami, the big boat.
I was working? Was this 4th of July?
No, this was in...
This might have been before.
No, yeah. It was like November 2020.
Wait, I was there. This was Rob. Was that his birthday? No, that's Dre's birthday. But that we went.
No, not that Miami. Not that Miami. Before that one.
The 2020. So it
the 2020. So
that was my first time being with them.
Yeah, that boat. I had a good time. I had a great time actually.
Well, I don't remember. I remember the boat, but I don't remember being like.
How can you not remember?
I remember the bowl. I do. I remember having a bowl. I actually do. And they had the dinner first, and then yes, I remember.
Yeah. So
and then it started to rain, and we came inside.
Yes, on the boat.
Yes, that's when it got.
I never went outside, but I never went outside. I was too drunk to even try to do all that. But I think I would say that's one of them.
And how was it working? I think we talked about this before too. Like during the pandemic, there was a weekend. This was before I was working with y'all. But they said it was just wild.
A weekend?
Yes.
Here?
I don't know if it was Miami or Atlanta. But it was during the pandemic.
It was Miami because when we got back, everybody had COVID. I bought a dog. That's when I got my dog Simba. Shout out to my son.
Aww.
I got a dog as soon as I came back. It has to be that weekend.
Okay.
Because that weekend was actually insane.
Oh my
it was lit. Like, it was a lit weekend. My other favorite weekend or event. Okay, it was I think it was like 2019 when Tank fought in Atlanta. Howard had a couple of parties.
Okay.
And that was a lit weekend. That was actually a really good weekend.
Okay. Did you work or you were partying?
No, I was partying.
Wow.
That was actually a really, that was a good weekend.
Okay.
So those are like my top.
What is it like? Well, we basically describing it to the audience when Baltimore goes to another city. What is your experience with that?
Well, to others who may not know us, it may come off as scary or very, very intense. But I will say, like, we stick together. Yes. We party hard.
We turn up.
It's like, it doesn't make any sense why are we this lit. So I like when we go out of town. Like, it's all or nothing. So risking it all. So I like out of town events. Definitely, for sure.
Wow. Yes, I love that. How do you think other people or your followers, like, how do you think they view you?
Okay, so like when I meet, I don't know. Mm-hmm. So one, people think I'm taller than what I really am. Because I look really tall.
You are short.
I'm short. I'm 5'3". Mm-hmm. I look taller on Instagram. I think it's the same. Mm-hmm. Like when you meet me, I feel like it's gonna be the same energy. It's the same, and nothing really changes. I think it's the same. I think it's the same.
Okay. It's the same. How was it? Well, you spoke about coming from New York, but how was it coming up there? And how do you feel like it influences you now?
So I grew up partially in New York. A lot of things that I learned in New York I still follow to this day. My mother was really strict with me, so my New York life is totally different from my Baltimore life. Really? Yeah, so it's been interesting.
Okay.
It's been interesting. I just had to adapt to a lot. Like I had to adapt to a lot. I was actually really depressed at the age of 12. Like, this is just horrific. Like, I think like my first couple of months in Baltimore, I got into like a fight in middle school. Like, it was really a lot. It was a lot for me. I don't ever talk about it, but it was a lot. Like, literally find out 1 week we moving, next week gone. It was like
and it's a culture shock. I feel like people undermine the effects of
my first I'm gonna say hood was that I saw with my 2 eyes was where I was like I lived in the area. I was moving to the area. It was like Old York, Cold Spring around there, and I was really like, okay, what is this? Like, this is a lot. I'm not used to this. I'm used to like corner stores. I'm used to like busy streets.
Right.
I'm used to trains and stuff. This is something totally different. But as I got older, I just had to adjust. So.
Right. Wow. What do you feel like is one of the biggest lessons that you learned when the pandemic hit?
Never get too comfortable. I feel like a lot of people felt the same way. I feel like COVID just literally was
everything,
taking us out, literally trying to take us out, and nobody went through it by themselves. Like, we all went through it, and I feel like that's why I appreciated that time, because it's like I wasn't in it by myself. I literally had family that I couldn't see. I had friends that I couldn't see. Not only that, of course, financially, everything was just a mess. It was a mess. But wholeheartedly, I think it was just never be comfortable. Never get too comfortable to where as though it's like something happens and it's like, woo, it's taking over. But just never get too comfortable.
Okay. And we're in fourth quarter now. Like, I feel like we're having another moment of, okay, pandemic was 2 years ago, we still see some impact. Where do you feel like you're at in your headspace now?
My headspace now with business?
With business and even personal too.
I'll start with personal. I've been learning a lot about myself daily. The more I do as far as like my business or just trying to stay focused, starving distractions that I just don't need. I've learned a lot about myself. I feel like I've changed a lot about myself, whether it was stopping not doing things that I used to do or just trying to be a better me. And that's what Tabbletics means, becoming the best version of yourself mentally and physically. Is not, so my brand isn't just about fitness. I I interact with, you know, females. I don't train men. I interact with females from Monday to Saturday, and it's my job. You know, of course, I'm the motivator, but it's also my job to show them, like, okay, I have to influence you. So I can't do certain things and expect you to do it. Whether it's eating, drinking water, whatever the case may be. And it'll show. You get me?
Who are or what are some of your biggest inspirations?
I don't want to sound cliche. Just one?
You can say as many as you like.
I'm gonna say myself first. I love that I don't give up. I'm very resilient. Just very determined to just get what I want and what I need. Regardless of how long it takes, what I have to go through to do it. So I would say me is number one.
Is that your final answer?
No, it's not. My mom inspires me. She's dope. She's a hard worker. I think that's for me. That's like number one. Like somebody who's gonna continuously like just work and work. Like I have to respect it. So I would say me and my mom.
Those are great answers. What are maybe like some things you like to do outside of working? Actually.
So outside of working, I love to travel. My family is not from America, so I'm an island girl. So I want to be in the heat. I want to hear dance hall. I want good food. So traveling. I like to shop, whether it's Amazon or perfume shopping. I like to shop.
When is your birthday?
I'm a Virgo.
Okay, I love Virgos.
Virgo season. Yes. I'm a Virgo, August 29th. Yeah, so shopping, travel. I love to eat. I'm an eater. I like to eat good food. What else? I can't say I like to work out, but I do.
But you do.
I do.
You work
because when I work out, it's not. I'm not technically working, but I am. But I like to work out. I like to work out because I like my results.
Damn, give me something. How do you like working out?
I love it. I love it.
I feel like I love it. I love the fact that I did it. Like when it's over, I'll be like, I really ran, yo.
I love it.
I really ran. Like I really did that fucking treadmill.
I love working out. And it's crazy because everybody doesn't feel that way, and I just feel like, how do you not work out for years? Like some people.
No, that I can't. Like I definitely have weeks at a time where I'm in the gym. I can't just like be sitting.
And I'm like,
that don't feel.
How
right.
do you not not even like a walk, walk a mile?
It's people that.
So with me, I love working out. I love sweating. Like
okay,
I'm that person in the gym. Like if I'm a sweat. Don't care. That's why I got great. But I love working out. So that's travel, shop, eat, gym.
Okay.
That's it. That's it.
Now that you are, full-time Tabbletics, when you do go out, what is it like for you? What kind of...
And nobody calls me Tabbie anymore. Nobody calls me Tabbie. Everybody calls me Tabletics. It's very different. Now when I'm out, it's more of a, hey, where you been? Like, it was never like that, so I had to get used to it. Like, wow.
Did you get any negative feedback?
From me leaving? Or just
any portion of it, whether it was you leaving, whether it's like you coming back and it's like you've been around.
And shout out to all my friends. I actually got like 100% full support. Everybody was just pushing me, like, just do it. Like,
I love that.
don't worry about it. If you need anything, call me. But I didn't really get any. And if I did, I probably didn't pay any mind. So, but I don't think I got any negative feedback. Everything was more so a push. Like, everybody was more so pushing me. Like, all right, if you're going to do it, do it. Don't, slack about it. So, I had good feedback.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Who is this? What inquiring minds?
Have you made time for love? Answer the question. Yeah.
I didn't know he was getting juicy, y'all.
Yes, she did.
I really did. Not that juicy.
She did.
I gotta answer this. I can't pass it.
You can but you can answer it in whichever way you like, as poetically generic or specific as you want it.
What's the question?
Have you made time for love?
Yes.
I know.
Yes.
I know.
Balance. Relationships, friendships, situationships.
Do you feel like being a bottle girl ever impacted you?
Yes.
It did.
Yes, I'm gonna answer that. Yes, and I'm gonna speak on it. I feel like guys that I've dealt with in the past, they had this stick. They wouldn't say it, of course, but I feel like they had this stigma, like, oh, she a bottle girl, and somebody always in her face, somebody always want to talk to her. But honestly, it was never really like, of course you have guys that will come to the club and compliment you, but it was never really like a persistent, like, give me a number, like, we're working at the end of the day. Right. And I was one of those, like, I want my money. Right. Before anything.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah, so, I feel like some guys had it misconstrued, like, okay, well, she's a bottle girl, and guys are always going to be in her face. And honestly, it really was, it was very rare that somebody would ask me for my number. Like, and then I'm a hard worker, so I don't really have time to sit. When you're working, I'm working. Yes, I'm working. Like, please, what do you need? A bottle? No digits. I have bottles. You get me? So I feel like a lot of guys think, like, because she's a bottle girl. Not saying every bottle girl is not the same, but I'm speaking for me and ones that I know. Like, it's not always like that. Like, we be working, and then we got to deal with whether we dealing with management, whether we dealing with customers, or we dealing with each other. So it go hand in hand. So it's not. It's detailed work. Yes. You gotta be winning. You gotta pay attention. Not only that, just the hassle of just working. Like, I gotta get there on time. I gotta make sure my makeup is done. I gotta make sure my hair done. I gotta make sure my nails done. I gotta make sure I don't got holes in my stockings. I gotta make sure my socks ain't dirty. Like, we have a lot in this. That's just maintenance, right? Being a bottle girl, and a lot of I've had, because I even feel that pressure at the door. Like, I don't want to look like I just rolled out of bed. Yes, you have to look. Yes, look apart. I have had younger females at that. DM me like, hey, do you have advice on? And I'm like, listen, if you're coming into this as, oh, I want to be a bottle girl, I want to carry lights, I want to be cute, this is not for you. It's not about that. That's what it comes with, but it's not about it. So, I try to tell people, like, if you're coming in it, come in with a goal, an end goal. Don't come in and just, oh, I want to be a bottle girl, and that's it. No, come in whether it's you writing down a number, I want to make this amount by this, and I'm out, or, some type of goal. Just don't come in just, oh, I'm just a bottle girl. Right. That's not a good idea. Not, because you don't want to be. And then another thing, we do have some people who fall short to the lifestyle, like, whether it's drama, whether it's just people in your business, it could be whatever. So when you come into the business, make sure you got one goal. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing it for, and that's it. So that's my forte on that.
Wow, great answer.
Thank you.
That was amazing. As you know, this is primarily a music channel.
Mm-hmm.
Who are some of your favorite artists, or what are some of your favorite songs? Especially in the gym, what you listen to you work out?
Honestly, this is gonna be really annoying, but I really listen to reggae. Like it is like religious.
Who's your favorite reggae artist?
Right now. Well,
Okay,
I have two. My top two is Popcorn and Burna Boy.
Okay.
They are like my go-to beats on in the gym, heavy weights. I'm putting them on. So I'm a reggae girl. I'm a soca girl. I listen to hip hop. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
As far as hip hop, my favorite artist, like on that side, do I have one? Anything.
Or R&B.
I like Mariah the Scientist.
Oh,
I love her. I like Kalani.
Okay.
I do like ESCG's new album.
Okay.
That's kind of new. That's actually really like out of the norm for me. Like I heard it and I was like, okay. I like Gunna, free Gunna. I'm a Gunna girl. I like Gunna. I love Gunna. Yes. So those are my like top right now. Yeah, currently.
Yeah. So, give me like, what is the wildest thing that has ever happened, or a wild story in nightlife?
Oh, wild story. Oh wow.
Maybe the craziest thing
The
you've
craziest
seen
thing.
while working.
I'm thinking.
Matter of fact, what is this story about you bringing out a whole case of waters?
Hey, why don't they let that go? They won't let it go. First of all, I told you that was the wildest weekend ever. Just even down to us working at the clubs was playing with us, playing with our money, it was a lot. It was a lot that weekend, but it was at King of Diamonds. And they just kept asking for waters, and I was just like, all right, I'm just going to get the case, and I'm going to bring it up here. Nobody, just pay me for the case, and that's it. Literally.
How many waters was in that case?
It might have been like 50 waters. Like, I don't know how many comes in a case. I don't even know. How many waters comes in a case? 60. However.
They just wanted 6.
I was like, I can't, because I'm not coming back. I'm telling y'all. Once I leave from over here, I'm not coming back. So, yes. Damn. They will not let it go. They won't let it go.
What makes it funny is that you're a trainer.
Period.
So I know you hold that shit up.
I don't have time. Period. Yeah, no. My wildest? I don't know. I've just seen so much. Like, I've seen people pass out, getting carried out. I've seen, like, the drunk friends trying to get each other out. My wildest? I don't think I've had a wild. Actually, I do have a wildest. Well, I wasn't working.
Okay. Get into it.
Was that the wildest? I got into like an altercation in Houston. It was like a whole bunch of videos and shit. I think that was like the littest one.
Oh my goodness.
I think that was the littest one. Like waking up the next day and seeing it, it was just like, oh man, this is sad.
Wow.
I think that might have been like the craziest. I think like in the nightlife, I think that was like the craziest. Yes. Yeah, that was the craziest. That was a lot.
Dang. Wow.
I had a good little run.
You definitely
had a great run. Like
and the transition was beautiful. I love that. That's my favorite part.
And I'm not close to like, I'm not opting out of working. It just has to make sense for me and my business, not just for me, but in my business. So absolutely. I'm definitely still down to work. Book me.
Definitely. Last thing. And that's what I was getting into, this whole idea, like you've had a great run, you've accomplished great things. If you could tell your younger self anything, Or even just from the time of you starting to work in the clubs, like, considering where you are now.
What could I tell my younger self?
Yes. Or what would your younger self say?
Don't talk to strangers. Don't talk to strangers. Don't talk to strangers. That would be one. What would I tell my younger self? Never doubt yourself. Know your worth. Never doubt yourself. Know your worth. I think those are my top two.
Those are good.
And actually, another one. Figure out exactly what's for you. Don't get into things just because, whether it's trendy, whether you see somebody else doing it. Find what's for you. When you just get into stuff, you're just wasting time. Literally, time is ticking. 30 is knocking at my door. And even though, you know, of course, I'm working hard, I have moments where I be like, I wasted time. I wasted time doing this. I wasted time talking to you. You get me? So I feel like, you know, when you get into, figure out what's for you. And that will definitely, you know, determine your future. Figure out what's for you. Don't waste no time.
Yeah.
Just get straight to it. So that's my value.
That's beautiful. I love that.
Thank you.
Y'all, this is Tabbie, Tabbletics.
This is so fun.
Ladies get trained.
Period.
If you see her working in the club, tip her well. Like, she's gonna make sure you straight. Thank you so much for stepping into the place to me. You are so silly. Like, yes, no, definitely we're gonna have like a Hall of Fame. Yeah, come back.
Thank you.
So yes,
follow me at Tabbletics. You can also email me at, what is my email? business@tabbletics.info. Thank you.
And that's it. It's a wrap.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That's perfect. Yay!